Good evening, everyone. I am Mark, your fat friend.
Huh? Wait, and I'm James, your black friend. What? How'd that happen?
And this is the Fat and Black Connection.
Where we talk about anything and everything. Well, as long as it's interesting to us.
Yes, indeed. And speaking of interesting, this is a live interactive broadcast, which is not necessarily a common thing in this day and age. There's a lot of people who will go on to like TikTok and will hold their phones and,
The tickety talk.
yeah, and they'll talk to the camera and they'll like read comments, but they don't really fully engage. Like they're not willing to flip the script, if you will, where we here at the Fat and Black Connection, we like to cater to ourselves primarily. But
Ah,
but
but
if our audience engages with us and gives us something interesting,
that is correct.
we have been known to course correct.
We have. I think
So
I think one show just went down a rabbit hole one time.
many times, man. We have, especially when Tyrus pops on and starts talking about that God of War crap. We just kind of spiral sometimes there. So we need to not let that happen. So one of the things we like to do here at the Fat and Black Connection, and James is already getting the party started clearly, is we like to partake in the libations. What are you drinking tonight?
Good old 805. That's
Yeah.
my Costco is limited on drink selection, so yeah. Yeah.
You have brought and drank on the air everything that your Costco carries?
No, I mean some of that stuff, like they have like some of the stuff I'm just not interested in. Like don't get me wrong, I like Heineken, but I don't want like an entire case of Heineken. Like I Coors Light, Bud Light, uh they had they don't have any Blue Moon, no other like microbrew stuff, nothing. Like it's really bad. Like 805 is pretty much like the best, well, in my opinion, like the best beer that they have.
Fair enough. Well, I went to Trader Joe's recently and I was like, I need to have something new on the show because I've been drinking a lot of the same stuff. And so I was like, time to try something different.
Okay.
So I picked up some. Oh,
It's that blur on you have on your camera. It's like it always.
Anyways, I'll just read it. It's called Cutwater Bali High Tiki Rum Mai Tai. So this is based out of San Diego. It's a gluten free, and it's 12.5% alcohol by volume. So it's a Mai Tai made with Cutwater Bali High rum, Cutwater barrel, and aged rum. So yes, it's rum in a can.
Mm-hmm.
Taste of the Tropics, featuring a blend of award-winning rums with notes of pineapple, coconut, and citrus. Our Mai Tai is a tiki-inspired cocktail escape. According to this, there are 2 shots. One of Cutwater Bali High Tiki Gold Rum and one of Cutwater Barrel Aged Rum. And then natural pineapple and coconut. So, yeah, I thought it's a little bit different. It's a drink in a can, and I enjoy a Mai Tai occasionally, and we are moving in the direction of going on a cruise here in the near future. So I figured let's get in the mood, shall we? So right off the bat, it is not at all the color I would have expected. Generally, when you have a Mai Tai, they're very
reddish in color.
Very reddish, very
like it's like a sunrise, basically.
Kinda. Now, I will tell you, it does smell very citrusy. It has a very fruity bouquet. Whoa. Whoa. It is whew. That has got a good alcohol punch.
Oh, okay. Just bam, right in the face. Oh, you know what I just realized I forgot to post I had video of the drink from the Cosmo and I forgot to post it.
Oh, the one, the s'more.
Yeah.
the s'more martini or whatever.
Yeah, but that was like I was talking to the bartender over there, and he was like, "Yeah." I was like, "That was the picture they had on there," and he was like, "Oh, that was last year. Like, they changed it up this year. It was basically like, it was just like a hot chocolate in. It was like a hot chocolate in a tin cup. And I mean, they did roast the marshmallow and stuff, but it definitely was not what I was expecting. I was expecting to get the martini, but
Well,
yeah."
and there's a big difference between like a hot chocolate and a s'more, right? Like
No, I mean it was like the s'more. Yeah, like it wasn't
like
really a
there
s'more.
wasn't a graham cracker
No, there
rim.
wasn't like a graham cracker rim or nothing. It wasn't like even on the picture. I think it was like I thought it was like chocolate or something. But it doesn't really matter. But yeah, but like basically they did like roast the marshmallow, and there were some pretty good sized marshmallows, and so he roasted them, and then he on a stick, and then put them in the drink. So yeah, I was like, oh, this was not what I was expecting.
And of course, we've got Tyrus checking in. Luckily, he didn't already hear the comments we made about him. What's up? I'm driving home, but I'm here listening. Well, welcome to the show. Thanks for checking in.
Oh yeah.
So this is our first post Podmas episode.
Yeah.
And for those of you that missed out on the last month, we have been doing a series called Podmas, where for the 25 days of Christmas, if you will, every day we released a video, which
Yeah.
those are still out there. You can go back and watch them if you really want to.
All the Podmas.
Yeah, some of the episodes were hosted by me, some were by James. We even had guest host Tyrus, and sometimes multiple of us were on.
Yeah.
And every episode was a little bit different. I talked about, some of my favorite television specials. You talked a lot about music. We talked about some events going on in the Reno area versus the Vegas area.
Yep.
And it's done. We finished up, and
We did it.
You did Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
You did your traditional reading of "'Twas the Night Before Christmas."
Yes.
That was fun.
Yeah.
And then you followed that up on Christmas Day with
25 more facts.
Yeah.
Random facts.
Did you happen to bring us some random facts for tonight?
No, because I used them all up.
I mean, it could have been about anything.
Okay. Well, you go ahead and you vamp for a minute, and I will find some facts about something.
Okay, well, for those of you not in the business, vamping means fill some space for me, please. So I can say now that with the holidays being over and getting through that, it's interesting having a little kid, right? Having a little one, and my kid is the only one. She's an only child, and she's actually the only granddaughter, and so that made for a lot of presents for her. And it was so many that we had to, at my parents' house, we had to split up the gifts to say, okay, we'll open these ones here and we're going to open the rest at home because there's so many.
Wow.
Otherwise, we would have been there all night opening gifts because we went over on Christmas Eve. What did you do for the actual holidays? Did you do anything for Christmas Eve or Christmas Day, or did you just have to work?
Yeah, no, I worked both days, but on Christmas Eve, after I got off, I went over to a friend's parents' house, and they had some people over, and we had just some food, and it was just chit chats and banter, all that kind of good stuff, kind of just hanging out. And then on Christmas Day, I also had to work. They did let people go early that day, but I was like, I'm not doing anything. So I decided to stick around. It was kind of boring at that point. But when I came home, my brother made his first attempt at gumbo, and it came out great. So he did a really good job. So gumbo. And I had some tonight too. But yeah, no. So it was chill, real chill this year.
Well, speaking of, work and where you work, some interesting things have been happening over the last couple days with more specifically Southwest Airlines
Tell me
canceling
about it.
thousands of flights nationwide over the last couple of days. And a lot of this sounds like it's not due to weather, it's
Yeah,
due to,
apparently it's staffing.
well, it's staffing and it's poor computer software, it sounds like.
Oh,
Uh,
I didn't hear about the
yes,
computer software.
I was reading an article earlier today that they're having some computer crashes, and that's a pathetic excuse, right? So
Really pathetic.
how is that affecting at the airport there? Because a lot of people come in and out of Vegas,
Yeah,
and
it's been well. So here's the thing. Luckily, we haven't had too many people with attitudes aimed at us because, um, you know, there's
because they're
nothing
not
we.
even coming to you because the flights have been
Well, no,
canceled,
no, no.
right?
It's like they're coming through. Like some of them, it's been bad. Like some of them are coming through, getting to the gates, and then finding out their flights are canceled. So then they have to basically come. Then they're like going out trying to get back downstairs to get, try and figure out what next flight to take, or if they can get on another flight that night so they can get out of here. Like I had people come. Well, the most I saw somebody was I saw them one day, and then like they came back to the next day, and I was like, hey, wait, weren't you here yesterday? And they were like, yeah, I couldn't get out yesterday. And I was like, oh, well, hopefully, today's better. The one guy, I guess he bought, I guess, what, 3 different tickets through Southwest. And he was like, he was like, uh, do you need any of these? And I was like, no, I'm cool. I guess need your ID. And he was like, cool, because I'm keeping all these. And then Southwest is paying me back for all of these. And I was like, get it, bro. Like, do what you need to do. But yeah, it's been crazy, man. Like we had people there. Um, I think the only one person I know had been there for like the longest anybody had been there was like a day and a half. Because
Gross.
like yeah, because the main thing is like, if you expect to leave, right? And then so if you had a hotel or whatever, you check out of your hotel and you get to the airport only to find out that your plane's been canceled. You don't have a hotel room to go back to.
Mhm.
And most likely, depending on when it is, it's going to be hard to either get another hotel to get a hotel room that's just for a night that's cheap, you know and so like they end up staying at the airport, and I have not seen that many people sleeping in the airport in, well, ever. So um but I, by the time I get there it's not as bad, but like it's still pretty bad. Like what yesterday, Tuesdays are slow, but it was basically like a month. Like Sundays and Mondays are our busiest days. And Sunday and Monday weren't that bad, but Tuesday was crazy. I was like, yo, like, what is this? It's not supposed to be like this on a Tuesday.
Yeah, and that to me makes sense. Sunday and Monday being the busiest with people trying to get out of Vegas. Um, because I would assume on the other end it's probably Thursdays and Fridays are the busiest for inbound people.
Well, we don't really care about inbound people. We don't have to check them.
I understand, but uh, so one of the things that you had told us, and we'll come back to the Southwest thing because I'm hoping you've got some insider knowledge for us. But one of the things you had told
I
us,
know very little, if anything.
oh, well, then that's nothing new. So, one of the things you had told us during Podmas was that you were going to be checking out a place. I forget what it was called, but it's hosted by the Hallmark Channel or
Oh yeah,
whatever.
Enchant.
Huh?
Enchant.
Enchant. Yes, there we go.
Yeah,
And you were going to be checking that out and going on a little date. And
yeah.
I'm just curious, can we get some follow up? How did it go? And what was it like? Because obviously you'd never been to Enchant before. And so we were,
So yeah, I mean, like it was nice. It was nice. Now, um, they did actually. I mean, since I bought the tickets online, everything, phone numbers, all that kind of stuff. They sent me a message after the day after, and was like, like how was your experience? And I said, and I think I gave him like a 9 or something like that, which is between 1 and 10. and I gave them a 9, and they were like, "What explain?" And I was like, "Yeah, it's a fun event." Like, but the thing is that it wasn't. I don't know if the value was there for what we paid to get in. Like, since we basically, it was at the baseball stadium, the Las Vegas baseball park, where the Las Vegas Aviators play, who are the minor league team for the Oakland Athletics. Now, um, it's nice stadium, nice area out in Summerlin, now in the Summerlin area, and they had vendors all around the outside, and then on the like where the field would be, they had their maze, as well as their skating. Now, the like I said, the price that we paid to get in, I don't know if it was worth the walking around in the maze, but if we had got kind of everything included, like if it was like, oh, the skating, the maze, maybe like a drink voucher or a food voucher or something like that, then it might have been worth it. But I just don't, the pricing wise, like we talked afterwards, and I was just like, it was nice, but I just don't know if the price was there really for everything. Because I mean, like they had pictures with Santa. You had to buy those separately. You had to buy, like the vendor stuff. Of course, you had to buy separately. The skating was separate. From you could buy like the package with this, or no, skating was separate. Like, so it was kind of a, I don't know. I I would say if you have kids, it might be a good thing to do with the kids, but for it was, like I said, it was fun, but it was kind of, I don't know if it was worth the price.
So ultimately, how did that fare for the date overall perspective?
Oh, I mean, we had a great time. We had a great time. We were there for a number of hours, just kind of going around and looking. We met her friends, well, the couple that I met last time, so they have a little one, so they went and did pictures. So we went with them, did pictures with Santa. I did say, actually, however, the people that they have working there, like it, like there were some young ladies that were working outside the Santa Claus thing, and they stayed in character perfectly. I was like, yo, like that was brilliant, because I wasn't even thinking about, like, I was just talking to him like normal, like, like you live out, you guys are from out here or whatever. And she was like, I'm from the North Pole. And I was like, oh, right. And so, like, but they stayed in character very well. Just very friendly people, um, you know, working and all that kind of stuff. So um definitely, like, if there are young people who are into like kind of the theater type deal, I'm sure they could get like a job there, no problem. Be something, over the winter break they can do, earn some money, whatnot. um the, actually, I totally forgot, they had a Zamboni out there, which I was like, yo, that's money, because for the ice rink they have to clean that up. But yeah, they had some people who were doing ice skating and stuff like that. One girl was like a figure skater who was out there doing stuff. I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. But yeah, no, like I said, it was fun, but I just don't know if it was worth the price.
So would you go again?
um yeah, but it would definitely probably be like, if if I have kids, or like I was watching somebody's kids for some reason or something like that, and we're like, hey, let's go
But
down
if it
to.
was just you and a date or something, probably not.
Probably not. Probably
Fair
not.
enough.
Like I said, it was fun for what it was, but I just, like I said, the price wasn't there. I mean, I'll post some pictures that I took of the place, and so you can kind of see what it looked like. But I mean, like I said, it was nice. Got some. They had some. Like, it looked like either high school little bands and playing, and there was a guy playing saxophone who was pretty good. I mean, not pretty good. He was good. They had some other stuff going on. They had like an adults only tent with drinks and stuff like that you could purchase. But like I said, for the price,
You could what?
you could purchase. Oh, I'm sorry. You could purchase.
Thank you.
Yeah, we'll tell you the story about that one later. But yeah, like I said, if that included maybe like a food voucher and a drink voucher or something, then it might have been a little bit, a little bit more like, oh, okay, that works. But yeah,
So is romance in the air? So this was a date, and you've now gone out with this individual on a couple of different occasions. It sounds like. So, are we going to not need to do an episode of When a Date with the Black Guy, or?
We'll have to talk about that later.
Okay, fair enough. So, guess what today is?
What is today?
Well, if he was still alive, and unfortunately we did lose him not that long ago, Stan Lee would be 100 today.
Man,
yeah,
creator of the MCU creator. Well, not really creator, but the one behind many of the characters.
Yeah, I mean, the only person close would be Jack Kirby, right?
Yeah. Is he still alive?
I don't think so.
No, I think
maybe. But yeah, this image was posted by Marvel themselves. I found it interesting, some of the choices of characters that are here versus ones that are not.
Yeah, I see. Like, was that Medusa from? I don't know who these little alien guys are.
Those I assume are scrolls.
And then you have, is that MODOK back there?
Yeah, I see MODOK, Magneto.
What do you got? Thor, Iron Man. Is that Ant-Man on his shoulder?
And the Wasp, yeah.
Oh, and the Wasp on the other shoulder.
Yeah.
Cyclops looks like he's back there.
Mm-hmm.
Who's the one next to him? Is that Multiple Man or something? I can't really tell.
You're talking about this one down here?
No.
That's Daredevil.
No. The one on
here?
Cyclops's left.
This one? That's Jean Grey.
Oh, I can't. I haven't seen her in that costume in forever.
Yeah, that's Jean Grey.
Oh snap! That's the Thing. You got Dr. Doom back there, Kingpin, Doc Ock. Was that Falcon back there? Mr. Fantastic.
Black Falcon. Thank you.
Black Falcon. No, it's not. His name was just Falcon.
You sure? You sure he was originally called just the Falcon?
That's the only name I've ever seen it.
I'm sure we have someone out there that can confirm or deny, but I believe the character was originally called the Black Falcon.
Oh, okay. Galactus.
The one I don't know. I know every single other character here.
Yeah.
The only one I'm not sure on is this blobby head. The only thing I can think is that's Ego.
Ego or Dormammu.
Well, no, Dormammu's right here.
Oh, is that Dormammu?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, Ego's the only one I can think of, which I don't necessarily see making a lot of sense, but
I'm just surprised that there's not a whole lot of like the movie characters, like I'm surprised there's no Winter Soldier, no.
I assume they predominantly did characters that he specifically created.
He specifically created. Yeah, that's true.
And I don't believe he created Captain America, which is why you don't even see Captain.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah. So, yeah, either way, pretty cool.
Tony Stank.
Oh, I just realized that Green Goblin's up here.
Oh, and the Human Torch is back there. I didn't even see him.
Oh, and Silver Surfer's up here in Galactus's
mantle. It's just a whole just a whole bunch of hiding stuff in there, huh?
Yeah. So yeah, he would have been 100 today. So
Mm.
it's interesting because you think about as well, right? Disney is now celebrating 100 years of Disney.
Dang, so Stan Lee was around like when Disney first started.
Stan Lee was born when basically Walt was getting started.
That's crazy. Man,
So
could you imagine if they had like if they had met like, during the early days?
I'm just saying, you think about it, right? Stan Lee was a kid when Snow White came out in the theaters. Stan
Yeah.
Lee was like a 9-year-old and got to see it, probably in the theater.
Yeah. That's crazy. That, like, could you imagine like if they had actually like met up early? Like, could you imagine some of the stuff we might have now?
No, because I think a lot of the stuff that we have from Stan Lee in the Marvel universe, if you will, wouldn't exist through the mouse lens.
Oh, that's true. That's very true.
It's they're very distinctly, one is very, for the most part, family friendly, wholesome, yada yada yada. The other is not so much.
Has his moments. I think,
Yeah.
but I mean, like as creators, I think they would have done some. I mean, like if I would like to see a conversation between them as creators, that'd be probably interesting
Well,
conversation.
someday when you make it to hell, you can go talk to them. And
That's funny.
so Murphy's Inc., man, that other little side hustle project that we work on from time to time.
Yeah. Logo got out of control there, huh?
I have to go back and watch. I don't know how it actually looks to the audience watching on like YouTube or whatever.
It was like it was out of frame this time.
For us, in our view, I don't know
Oh,
how it looks to them.
yeah, maybe.
But so Murphy's Inc. Episode 5 released on podcast platforms last Friday.
Yeah.
Episode 5, Time and Time Again. 5 of 6.
Yeah.
So it's 5 really picked back up. 4 was kind of a little bit slower, low key episode.
Yep.
And 5 it really kind of started to pick up. We were getting to the kind of the crux of the issue, if you will.
Oh yeah.
We had a trial, and it got real. I mean, there was some theft in that episode.
Super theft.
And some things went sideways at HQ with the team.
Yeah.
With Murphy and the gang. So it's interesting that the audience base, being the showrunner on this thing, I see all of the numbers. I wouldn't necessarily say daily, but I get updates quite regularly on how the show is performing and whatnot, and it's interesting. The show is doing, it's growing organically because we're not spending money on marketing or advertising right now, and so we have a nice small organic base, but it is growing. The numbers continue to go up on episode 1. Which means people are still picking this show up, and I think we're going to continue to see that. It's interesting. Having worked on Secrets of Harridge House, where by the time we were in season 3, we were growing. Episode 1 was still gaining audience hugely when season 3, and so that's one of the things that excites me about working on this project. Knowing that we've already got season 2 well underway from a writing perspective, and we've already mapped out basically 4 seasons planning wise.
Yeah.
And so while the numbers aren't necessarily what I would love to see today, I'd love for us to have tens of thousands of downloads the day the episode releases, like that.
Oh yeah, that would be phenomenal.
Yeah, but we're not quite there yet.
Not yet, not yet. We're working on it. But
Yes.
like, what is because we're now being we're now on another platform that is helping spread our words. So that's
Yeah,
good.
so kind of interesting. We were picked up by Dramify,
Yeah,
which
that's it.
it is a pay for service, but they're niche. So you think about it, right? Like there are people who go to Spotify or go to iTunes or whatever to listen to podcasts, but they're typically not looking for an audio drama. They're
Right.
typically looking for,
Podcast.
yeah, a podcast where they're going
Right.
to listen to somebody talk about something.
Right.
So Dramify is really trying to fill that niche for people who
Hmm.
want to listen to audio dramas. And they do offer a free service as well with ads. Um, and so they reached out and they said, "Hey, we heard you know your pilot. We like it. We want you guys to come over." Um, the only concern that I had from my end is that I just wanted to make sure that we retain all rights and have the ability to continue to publish everywhere that we already currently are, which we do. And so, the nice thing
Sure.
is we're everywhere we are,
Hmm.
and we're over here where there's going to be this niche of people that are going specifically to Dramify to find audio dramas.
Right. So
So
that works.
yeah. So episode 5 released last Friday, and coming
Yep.
up in 2 days, episode 6.
Now do
Now,
me a favor.
do me a favor,
Yep.
and that will be the season finale, and
Yes, sir.
it's a longer episode.
Yeah.
Episodes 2 through 5 were running right around 23, 25 minutes.
This one's
Episode
41, 42.
42 minutes or so.
Yeah.
So it's a good one. I definitely think episode 6 is probably my favorite.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. By far.
it really, you get some payoff. So I'm not going to go into the details of the
Nah.
episode, but if you haven't gotten caught up, go
Nope.
over to Spotify, iHeart, wherever you want.
Hey, go to Dramify.
Go to Dramify, give them some love.
Yeah.
Um, so going along with that, something that a little pet project, if you will, that I've been working on for quite some time, as you're aware, um, was to kind of create some merch for Fat and Black Connection.
Oh yeah.
Well, I also decided to, you know what? If I'm going to be making merch for that, I might as well make merch for Murphy's Inc. and for 97 to Now Productions. Because, if I'm already working on all of that stuff, then why not just do it all at once? You know what I mean?
Happy New Year.
So, anyways, so I started making some merch for our shows that we work on and are involved with, and I'm very pleased with the way a lot of this stuff is turning out. So we'll see. Hopefully we've got some folks out there that might be interested. I've got some imagery examples of some of the things that we've created. This is obviously a little pin
What?
that
Little button.
little button you could put on.
Yeah.
This is a bottle opener, magnetic bottle opener.
Yeah. Well, we like to drink here, so
Yes, we do.
Fits in.
Speaking of drinking, you've got a coffee mug. How about just a basic magnet?
Magnet.
T-shirts, got to have T-shirts.
Oh yeah.
Trucker caps. How about
That's the
that
one.
hoodie sweater?
That's the one, though.
Now, what this doesn't show you is the hoodie sweater. The backside of it has the 97 to Now logo.
Okay.
So
It's like smaller. Is it bigger? It's like the same size or what?
it's good size.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So just some examples of some of the merch that we're coming up with and getting out there for y'all to hopefully express some interest and go spend your hard-earned dollars supporting the cause. Yes, the delayed response, Brian, referencing, I assume, back to talking about the podcasts, the audio drama, and people tuning in, listening later. And um, speaking of Brian, I wanted to say thank you for the lovely holiday card that you sent.
Yeah, I got mine too.
Yeah, yes, it was lovely. Um,
Lovely.
of course, I made the mistake of keeping the card but throwing out the envelope.
Envelope.
Envelope, which had a return address, and because I like to, and my wife more specifically likes to send thank you cards and stuff. So Brian, whenever you have a chance, text me your address, because yeah,
Ding.
I got to tell you, man, this is just a little can, right? This is what, a 8 ounce, 10 ounce can. I am feeling this more than if I was to just make myself a rum and coke or whatever.
Well, I mean, you got two different types of rum in there.
I mean, that's not really gonna make a difference.
I don't know. Sometimes.
I'm sorry, you have bartended, you have taken multiple alcohol awareness classes. It doesn't matter if you mix tequila and whiskey. It's not from.
Ugh, that sounds
I'm just
horrible.
saying, like, you could drink a shot of whiskey and a shot of rum, or mix a half of each together, and it's gonna have the same effect.
I don't know, man. I'm just saying. I think I don't know. I'm just saying. I think it's weird that you're feeling that one more than like even more than like the wine one that you had.
Wine one.
The wine, what was it called? The soju or
Well, so the thing you got to remember about soju is it's a low alcohol percentage. It's usually like a 7 or 8%. This is a 12.5% in a
oh
can.
yeah, okay. That'll make yeah, that's probably why. That'll make a total difference.
So, that 4% alcohol by volume really makes a difference. And James, what does that mean?
Don't worry
Alcohol
about it. Hey, actually I found like two things that I
some random facts.
yeah. So I don't know how it just turned into the hashtag symbol. It says hashtag symbol, but I looked for more like the pound symbol as I remember it. But that's actually it is technically called an octothorpe.
Okay.
Yeah. And then like it says the 100 folds in a chef's hat, so like the tall chef's hats represents 100 ways to cook an egg. It's really like it's kind of random.
Well, as just about any chef will tell you, one of the hardest things to do is cook an egg, to order.
Oh yeah, to order, yeah. Because people like them a bunch of different ways. I didn't even know there was 100 ways to cook an egg. Like, I think because I pretty much only ever done like a fried egg, sunny side up, hard boiled, and like scrambled. So, but another poached and all that other kind of stuff. The longest wedding veil was longer than 63 football fields. Why?
That's oddly specific.
Yeah, nearly 23,000 feet, which is the same length as about 63 and a half football fields. Like, there's a woman in Cyprus, some woman in Cyprus. I'm like, why do you need a veil that long? Like, what's the point? Why? Oh, hey, here's something. Because I know you're a cat person. Some cats are allergic to people.
Interesting.
Yeah. If for all you people allergic to cats, they might be allergic to you too. It's pretty uncommon due to the fact that that we breathe Oh, I'm sorry. No, sorry. That we bathe ourselves more often than other species. I don't know. I said breathe. Bathe ourselves more than other species, and don't shed as much hair or dead skin. But yes, it does happen. So apparently, some cats can be allergic to people. Yeah, that was one. I was like, oh. One more. American Pie. Is it actually American at all?
Dutch, isn't it?
Was actually, let's see. It says the first. Let's see. Apples are in fact native to Asia, and the first recorded recipe for apple pie was actually written in England. So, yeah.
Interesting story quickly about apple pie, and I talked about this on my food episode. Apple pie is a traditional holiday dessert for some reason. And have you ever had apple pie with a slice of cheddar cheese?
No, again, that is why.
Have you ever tried it?
No, because it just that's not something that I'm like.
Don't get all like juiced up over here. What I'm asking you is very simply, if you've never tried it, why are you so against it? Just because it sounds weird, you're
cheese on pie, man. Like, I mean, cheese with apples doesn't make sense. Juice, bro.
You need to calm down, okay? You're very juiced up about this for some reason. And I don't quite understand why you're so juiced about this specifically, because and for those of you that are unaware of what we're referring to when we say juiced, it's actually not a verb, it's an adjective. I found out it's past tense, and it's a full of energy and motivation or excited. Just so that everybody knows what we're talking about. Yes, I'm going to be putting that on a shirt.
That'll be coming soon.
So it's okay to think it's weird. I have no qualms with that, but I challenge you to try it.
But I don't. Have you tried it?
I did. I tried it just over a year ago. I went to an event. It was a barbecue event, cook-off kind of thing at the Nugget, not the rib cook-off, but a different barbecue event. And they were serving, they had lots of different desserts and stuff, but one of them was hot or warm apple pie. And you had the option to put on a piece of cheddar cheese. And I'd never tried it before. I'm not even a big fan of apple pie, honestly.
I like apple pie, but yeah.
Well, so the question I have to ask is, in your head, when I say apple pie, are you thinking of an apple pie that's got like the crystallized sugar and stuff over the top?
I'm thinking of like my favorite type of apple, which is a Dutch apple pie, which has that kind of.
Okay, so that, of course, is not how you would have it with cheese. It would just be a traditional American pie where it's like just got the normal crust over the top. That with cheddar cheese, it is, again, I agree with you. It sounds extremely weird, but having actually tried it, it goes really well together for some reason. And Brian's on your side. He says, I'm kind of with James. It's the wrong texture, wrong flavor profile. Maybe a sweet cheese or something would be better. Brian, I question, have you actually tried it? Because yes, it doesn't sound like it goes well together, but it does.
Who came up with this? Like, who said, you know what, I'm gonna put some cheese on this pie?
Some dairy farmer, I'm sure.
That sounds like a drunk mistake.
It was some dairy farmer in Wisconsin, I'm sure.
That sounds like a very drunk mistake.
Speaking of drunk mistakes, I am going to have my second can.
Oh, that's perfect.
For all of you ASMR people, you're welcome. And Tyrus says, that sounds gross, but at the same time, I love pineapple on pizza. See, that
you're another freak.
That I don't understand. I have tried pineapple on pizza, and I don't get it. It doesn't.
No, it shouldn't. It shouldn't be on pizza.
I'm not going to say it shouldn't be on pizza. That's not for me to say. I will just say I don't like it. But I tried it, and that's my point to you. It sounds weird, but I challenge you to try some warm apple pie with a slice of cheddar over the top. I think you will be surprised at how good it really is.
What like so? Just it can't be like a Dutch apple pie. It has to be just like a regular.
I mean, you could try it over Dutch apple pie. I don't think
It
that's
just
the
sounds
intent.
like a bad idea.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like I said, the whole thing just sounds like a bad idea to me. But like
Again, up until having tried it, I would not have disagreed with you.
what the hell?
What you got going on?
Unicorn's not even real. How's that? The unicorn is the national animal of Scotland.
Okay. What?
Yes, although it's a fabled creature, the national animal of Scotland is actually the mythical unicorn, chosen because of its association with dominance and chivalry, as well as purity and innocence in Celtic mythology.
Yeah, I just he's not making this up, folks. I just looked this up, and I can confirm that what he just said is reported in multiple different places. And Brian says fresh pineapple that's not really sweet works on pizza because it goes with the ham. Okay,
No
maybe.
kidding. Those don't.
Without the ham, nope.
I just don't. I'm not a fan of Hawaiian pizza.
Well, and not only that, but most of the pizza establishments aren't using fresh pineapple. They're using
they're
that
using,
canned
like,
stuff
canned.
that's been soaking in, concentrated sweet water.
Hot apple juice, like supposed pineapple juice.
What?
What? Yeah. I'm just like now. I just got now. Oh, oof. I guess I'm gonna have to try it at some point. I don't know where, but I don't know if I'm. Ooh.
Well, so the interesting thing to me is, like I was mentioning, I tried this at this event at the Nugget, and I was just actually contacted today about being invited to the Nugget again for the Super Bowl.
Oh, yeah.
I went last year, and
I remember
think I
that.
talked about it here, and I did some live broadcasting and whatnot, and that was a fun event. The unfortunate thing is, I don't know if I'm going to be able to go due to the fact that 13 days before then, or 12 days before then, I'll be having my tonsils taken out. So, because the Super Bowl, I believe, is on the 12th or 13th this year.
That seems late.
Yeah, it's the 12th. Yeah, February 12th. Well, you got to remember they added an extra game this season.
I thought they just took away one preseason game and made that a regular. Like instead of 4 preseason games, they made it 3, and then it was regular season started like a week early.
I don't think the regular season started early. I think the regular season started at the normal time, and they just extended it a week. Either way, the Super Bowl is not the first Sunday in February as it has been the last couple of years. It is February 12th.
Ugh.
So I am having my tonsils removed on February 1st. So
yikes.
Yeah. So it will basically have been 11 full days. My doctor told me I am going to hate him for 2 weeks. So
oh, that's when they tell you that, that's not a good sign.
Yeah. Well, when they say, you don't really realize how many times a day you swallow until you have your tonsils removed. And he follows that up with, you're going to hate me for 2 weeks. That's a little disconcerting.
Yikes, bro.
Yeah. If there's any adults out there that had their tonsils removed as an adult, I'd love to hear how that went for you.
Yeah.
Because I am not looking forward to it. It is but it is a necessary evil, unfortunately.
Yeah, no, yeah. Because I was gonna ask, is that I didn't know because I was gonna ask before you actually, said what was going on. I was about to be like, yo, is that the reason you've been randomly sick like over the past year? But
It definitely has contributed over my lifetime. He
like I remember
my
you talked about it. I remember you talked about it, and so like I was like, uh, I mean, so but like no, the other sick like because you like this past year you kind of got you had a couple different number of things going on.
well, this last year actually wasn't so bad. You're
Oh,
thinking of
was that
the year prior.
was that 21?
21 was really bad. 22 wasn't so bad.
Yeah.
Um, but and which is crazy to say because we've been doing the show for almost 2 years now.
Hmm.
When you think about it, we started this show in March of
Uh,
2020.
did we start in March? No, it was May. I think it was May because
Was it?
yeah,
I thought it was earlier than that. Either way, it was
whatever.
early. It was early-ish 2020. So we've been doing
Yeah,
the show for over a year and a half at this point.
yeah.
Um, and somehow we're still going strong for some reason.
Mm. People still tune in, so
And even if they didn't, we'd probably still do
still
this
yeah. Just
because it's at the end of the day, it's for us. So.
hey, should we make Brian disappear and talk about the cruise? No, I'm just kidding.
Well, as a
uh,
matter of factuality, now that you mention it, I did finally get confirmation from the group cruise coordinator person about our 2 group meals
Terry.
that they are confirmed, and it's actually not Turi. Um, there's a separate person who
Oh,
coordinates like group events and stuff on the cruise.
oh, nice.
Yeah, so
But we got those confirmed now.
yes, our group dinner the first day at sea has been confirmed, as well as the dinner at Cagney Steakhouse. So
On the
um,
Wednesday.
yes, I will be posting those to the cruise page probably tomorrow, so,
Excellent.
so that everyone can lock in. Now, what I did is I set them up for parties of 24. Um, Yes, 2-4. Because there were around 18-ish people that said they wanted to do it. But I figured, let me,
Add a couple more just in case people want to join in. I feel you.
yeah. Well, and it's there's 40 people ish, a little over 40 people in this group.
Yeah.
And like I've said all along, I don't expect everyone. I fully expect there are going to be some people on this cruise that I'm not going to see.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, I'd be totally fine if you were one of them, but I don't think that's going to happen. So.
Wow.
Oh,
Wow.
here's something. So I kind of wanted to see, and so as you know, I'm balling out on this one, and I'm staying in the Haven,
Yeah.
which is for those of you that don't know on Norwegian, it's kind of the first class. It's the upper echelon. It's the um, I'll have a butler and I can have my food delivered to my room and
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
not room service.
Got it.
It's
They deliver it to your room. Got it. Now,
well, and they'll put out white linen
yeah.
and
Yeah. Yeah.
plate.
Let's. Okay. Cool. Let's.
Anyways, so I found out that you can come to the Haven restaurant as my guest to eat in said restaurant. There is a nominal charge, but you can come be amongst us gods to
Gods. Wow.
no, I said gods to
Oh. Okay.
see, because how are you ever going to know if you ever actually want to stay in the Haven if you don't have the opportunity to see it for yourself?
Oh, that's a good point.
So you'll have to, you and Tyrus will have to decide if you want to come up amongst us
Go.
and partake in a meal. Now, I would suggest if you're going to do it that it would be for dinner.
Oh, well, yeah, that's the only time I'd even want to go.
Yeah, steak and lobster, of course.
Yeah.
which is available every night at the Haven restaurant.
It's like every night just makes it not even like. I mean, I guess like for you who you might like that all the time, but I wouldn't like that every night.
I left out something. So last week I just before Christmas went to Costco, and one of the things that I had wanted for Christmas dinner or Christmas weekend dinner, so to speak, is king crab legs.
Oh,
I
okay.
love me some king crab legs.
Yeah, I know. I've been there before.
But unfortunately, everywhere I was going, it was either you had to buy like a 10-pound box, which is like $400, $350,
Yikes.
or you could buy like Dungeness or whatever. And I'm like, I'm not going to spend money on Dungeness crab or anything like that, or snow crab. Well, luckily I went to Costco a couple days before Christmas Eve, and they had king crab legs, and they had it. The one that I procured was just shy of 2 pounds.
Oh, all right.
So it was pre-cooked, so you could just take it out of the package and eat it.
That's even better.
I had some kitchen shears instead of crackers because with those king crab legs, they're so big. Just using a regular cracker is going to be difficult. So I grabbed some kitchen shears, and over the course of about a day and a half, I went through about 2 pounds of king crab legs.
You're disgusting.
Why is that disgusting?
It's like so much. It's so much crap.
So it was like it was like 5 legs basically. So I'd grab a leg and I'd take it and I'd cut it out and I'd take out the chunk of meat, which was like literally that big, and I'd sit there and I'd and then a couple hours later I'd be like, hey, you know what, I got a hankering for some more crab, and my wife didn't want any. I gave some to my kid and she didn't like it, so I was like, yes. So yes, I ate through about
it's all mine.
Yeah, I ate through about 2 pounds of king crab legs in a little over a day.
Yikes.
So
does the Haven restaurant have king crab legs?
I highly doubt it. If you recall, none of the shore excursions even had king crab legs listed.
No, they had a lot of smoked fish.
There was a lot of smoked fish. There is a crab feed, but it's Dungeness crab.
Yeah, those are tiny and pain in the ass to eat.
Yeah, so it's kind of a little bit disappointing. So going back to the Haven, we've got some haters, as is expected. Tyrus is one of them. Mark paid for a ton of room stuff, but folks don't spend much time in their rooms aside from sleeping and showering. Says you.
You don't know Mark. He's lazy. No,
well, it's like, okay, think of it this way. So we've got a day where we're floating around Glacier Bay, right?
Right.
And I have in my room a spa tub that looks out of the ship. So I can sit in my bubble bath while watching Glacier Bay. Oh, and I can have my butler bring me champagne to my room. Do you really think I'm not going to take advantage of that?
I guess every once in a while you gotta do what you gotta do.
I'm just saying, like, yes, Tyrus is correct. I'm not going to be in the room 24/7, but I'm going to be in my room. I'm going to eat breakfast in my room multiple days.
He'll take full advantage of that.
I'm going to have second breakfast in my room some days.
He's going to have third and fourth breakfast in his room some
I'm going to be
days.
taking nappy poos in my room or in my bubble bath with champagne drinking. And when I say champagne, by the way, I'm talking about Veuve Clicquot, because that's included with my drink package. Baller. And I will probably actually have some Cristal when I go to the French restaurant. So I'm just saying, keep on hating, haters. And Brian says, show up for 7 a.m. breakfast and make sure Mark is there with you.
There's no way I'm showing up for 7 a.m. Nothing.
Yeah, I'll be going to bed not long before then, so I don't expect all.
Yeah, that's not vacation time. That's
and Tyra's still hating the Private Haven hot tub bars and spa stuff. Yeah, so the Haven has its own what do they call it? Like an outdoor Lido deck, if you will, where there's the little cabana set up and 2 hot tubs on either side, port and starboard of the ship, where we'll get there. Don't worry.
I'm just gonna throw it up there now. I mean, did you already do the gratuity and stuff or no?
Yeah, the gratuity is already paid for up front.
Yeah, so
he better be good, because if he wants extra, or she, I don't know what it'll be. They better be careful.
You don't want to get canceled.
Yeah. Luckily, I produce myself, so. But yeah, I fully plan to not take advantage of my butler, but I plan to use them for what they are. So one of the things I haven't talked about before, I don't know if you know this, is I actually am given a cell phone on the ship that is basically a direct line to my butler. I can be anywhere on the ship, and I hit a button and tell my butler, "Hey, Jeeves, bring me some celery sticks."
Kidding me?
Nope.
Oh man! Oh, that's great. I'm not gonna lie. That's actually that's pretty cool. Not gonna lie.
The ship, according to Tyrus, the ship is a freaking city. You're going to be locked up in your room the whole time? ? There is so much to explore. No doubt. And guess what, Normie? I get to get on the ship like 3 hours before you on embarkation day. So I'm going to take that time to explore the ship before any of you normies are on the ship, so that I can enjoy it for myself.
Shame, shame, shame.
Tyra says that he still tips his room steward cash in the beginning. Oh, yeah, give them money before they do anything. No, thank you.
And they take me all week long. Huh?
Giggity. I think he meant they take care of him, but
all right.
Yeah, I did that. So there was a period of time when I was still working in the restaurant industry where I was a jerk, and I would go to a restaurant, like let's say Denny's, and I would take a stack of 20 ones, and I would put it on the table, and I wouldn't say anything. But as the service unfolded, for every negative thing that happened, I would take $1 away. So the server had the potential to make $20 for providing excellent service.
Oh.
I'm just saying, I would not tip up front, because you're not guaranteeing you're going to get better service, and I think some people might see that as disrespectful.
The only reason, tips stand, I guess there's an acronym for tips, to ensure prompt service, but at the same time, I don't know if I tip at the beginning either.
I think for me, it's just too much of a risk, right? Like and also, like, if you tip up front, what are you giving? Are you giving him, hey, here's $20, take care of me all week? Like, it's a 7-day cruise. I don't know. Like,
you dropping a bill?
Yeah, or I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. So speaking of the 7-day cruise, you, me, my wife, and Tyrus, we're all getting into town early.
Yep.
And we've already got our hotel booked, and you've got your flight booked. We've got our flight booked.
Yeah.
Tyrus is a slacker. He'll get his booked at some point, I guess.
Yeah.
Calm down, LA Knight. And So we're getting into town on Thursday. The cruise is on Saturday,
Saturday,
and we're getting in early on Thursday, early-ish.
early-ish. Yeah.
So, what are some things you want to see and do in Seattle?
The main thing that I want to see in Seattle is Pike's Place, because I heard that place is money, and I don't think I'll be able to throw fish, but at least I can see fish being thrown. That's what I want to see. I don't know why. I've seen it in a couple movies, and I've seen it like on Sunday night and Monday Night Football. Whenever they played in Seattle, they would show the fish being thrown, and I was like, that looks legit. Like I don't know. That just seems like it's like a giant farmer's market. But I really want to check that out.
It's a fisher's market, but yes.
Oh, I thought they had others. I didn't realize they had. I thought they had other stuff there, like a farmer's market would have. But it's all fish. Whatever. It doesn't matter.
So one of the things that I saw that at Pike's Place, I was watching some videos, is king crab legs, where you can purchase them. They're pre-cooked, and they'll give them to you like basically right there, and you can just sit there and eat king crab legs. I'm like,
do they have hot drawn butter next to them?
I'm sure. I am sure they've got hot drawn butter.
Did you do that at home? Like,
no, I actually didn't have it with any butter. I ate them straight because it didn't need it. I don't know what Costco did.
What?
Yeah, I took.
So this almost sounds blasphemy, Mark. Like you always have it with butter.
I know, right? So I took the first one and I cracked the first part of the leg, right? And I was like, let me eat a little bit, see how it is. And I don't know what they did. It was absolutely delicious. And I was just like, I don't need nothing.
Wow.
Tyra says, so explain how you're matching up our hotel and shuttle accommodations, but you can embark 3 hours before us. Well, I don't see how A equals B, but being in the Haven, there is the Haven. There's the Haven Lounge
at the port, and therefore they have snackies and stuff up there,
which I am allowed to go to as early as 10 a.m.
Right, and then he's going to just eat all the food that they have up there.
Most of it, yes.
Yeah.
And I get to get on the ship right around 11 a.m.
Right. So
where you normies get to start getting on around 1.
Ugh. Yeah. So basically.
So yes, you guys will of course have to follow checkout procedures at the hotel and be out of the hotel at 11, and then you can walk the block that it is to the pier to get ready to get on the ship. But you'll be hanging out waiting without drinks and food and all of the high-end accommodations that come along with being a part of the Haven.
Wow.
Well, so here's a question for you. I don't know if you saw, but the email came out to upgrade your room. Have you seen that?
No.
Tyrus, did you see that? There was an email that just came out in the last 2 days that said, hey, we're opening it up for if you want to upgrade your room. The bidding process, as Tyrus has talked about before, where you can say, hey, I'll pay an extra $100 for a balcony room. And depending on if you have the highest bid and there's a room available, they generally will give it. And Tyra says he didn't get the email yet.
I see it as it's here.
Yeah, so something you might want to look into. Obviously, you don't want to upgrade all the way to the Haven because that's just... and of course, I am surprised Brian is still hanging around. Now you guys know how I feel when you guys talk about this. Oh, so...
Well, Brian, you could have come along with us. That wasn't an option for you. But you decided that you were going to go to Japan around that same time. So
I'm going to go to Japan so I can go to Tokyo Disney, and I'm going to propose. I'm going to propose to my girlfriend so that I can maybe marry her or something.
Wow.
Well, that's what people do when they get engaged, right? They get married. I've only done it. I've only gotten engaged once, so
So is this balcony stateroom 125?
And of course, Brian calls out the fact that he's getting married. But at the time that we started booking this cruise, almost a year ago,
yes,
you were not.
Yeah, that is correct. Saying. I think you were talking about going to Japan, and we said no.
No. When we first started talking about this cruise, he didn't have anything planned.
Well, no. Then he said that they were. Oh, I thought he said they were planning to go to Japan around that time. But at the same time, we said that's fine. You can go to Japan, but you should also come on this cruise. So,
yeah.
All right.
Yeah. You know what excuses are like, don't you?
Yeah. Buttholes.
Why is that, James?
Everybody's got one.
Well,
except those weird. Some people have catheters, which is. Side note: having to, you have to be very careful when you're patting people down with those.
Oh, have you squeezed some poo?
No, I haven't actually had to touch. I mean, but they're very sore in certain areas.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So let's see. Name your bid to upgrade your stateroom on your upcoming cruise. And we'll notify you via email if your request for an upgrade has been approved. Huh.
So you just throw out an arbitrary amount, right? Like you're currently in a studio room, right?
Right.
And you can say, okay, you know what? I'll throw an extra 200 for a balcony. And they can come back and say, here you go. Or they can say, no.
From 125. So, I mean, I could literally just throw out 125.
And you should. You should say, here, 125 for a balcony. Worst case, they come back and say no.
Yeah, that's
you know what I mean?
I'm going to do that right now.
and Tires for that same effect, right? He can try and upgrade to a spa suite so that his spa pass is included in his room. So, it's interesting that they do that. Obviously, they don't do this for all cruises, especially if they're sold out or anything like that. But
this one is not to capacity, so therefore it makes
no.
sense.
Last I heard, it was around 60% capacity.
That's all good, baby.
Yeah, and when you think about our ship can only hold around 4,000 people. It's at about 2,400 people. So it's going to be nice. Even if that increases, even if that gets up to 75%, that's still, I think, going to be a pretty nice cruise.
Yeah, man.
I definitely do not ever want to go on one of those Carnival cruises, like the 3-day or 4-day to Ensenada, where it's like 100% packed,
sold out. Yeah, no, I'm cool off of that. I don't need all the people.
No, I would rather. NCL is more expensive, Norwegian Cruise Line. I would rather spend a little bit more money and enjoy. And as Tyrus points out, it is a bid, so you can get outbid, but chances of winning a bid is high because there's a lot of people who aren't even going to try. And to be clear, in our group, there's only 4 studios, you being one of them. So, and this is where I go back to, I was surprised by the fact that we had 4 studios and none of those people wanted to buddy up with you to upgrade.
Well, I mean, I only knew one person that was going on that cruise, and in the studios, because that was Judy, right?
Judy was one of them, yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know, she wanted a room with. But anyways, I put a feeler out there to see if anybody wanted to do that, but nobody yet responded, so I was cool. So like I said, I just threw in this bid real quick. We'll see what happens. Yeah,
and as Tyra says, and it's the same thing with anything in life. Honestly, you get what you pay for with NCL. You get what you pay for with anything. You have choices in life, right? Like you can go spend $10 on a steak, or you could spend $50 on a steak. There is a difference between the 2 steaks. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's a huge difference. I can tell you.
Yeah,
you can go to.
I don't think you've ever spent $50 on a steak.
No, I haven't spent $50 on a steak, but I've spent like $35 on a steak.
You've had somebody spend $50 on a steak for you before.
Yes, I have. But there's a difference between grabbing steak and eggs at South Point for like less than $10 and ordering and then a steak at what was the name of that place?
Are you serious?
Gallagher's. Yes. Oh, I couldn't remember. Yeah. Or getting a steak at Gallagher's. It's, I mean, like two different experiences. Cause yes, I like the reason that I have to order my steak. There's a way that I have to order my steak at South Point to make sure it comes out anywhere near what I want it to be. Then when I ordered at Gallagher's, I told them I want medium rare and it was thick. So medium rare was easier. Medium, like I have to order a medium rare there so that at least I get medium on the thinnest.
Yeah. You can spend $10 on steak and eggs for a flat iron steak, right?
Yeah.
Or you could spend $50 for a 24-age day steak at Gallagher's for a 12 to 16 ounce steak that's going to be the best steak you've ever had in your life.
My brother told me that that they have tomahawk steaks on the cheap at his. Well, I don't know if it's the one. I don't know if it's the what's the name of that? I can't remember the name of the restaurant anymore. But like either at his restaurant or the restaurant that is at the Nugget on Fremont Street, they either have like a night where tomahawk steaks are pretty cheap, and I was like, yes, let's go. So
interesting.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to check that out. But other than that,
so speaking of, just as a quick reminder, we are eating at Cagney's Steakhouse on the cruise, and if you're using one of your food credits for the cruise, then there are many items, many steakular items that you can get that are included, right?
Yeah.
And this is what's amazing to me. So you can get the 20-ounce porterhouse, and that is included in the cost.
Yeah.
Or you can pay an extra $25 for a tomahawk.
Oh yeah.
So to me, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to keep it included, and I'm going to get that porterhouse.
Yeah.
Like, part of me, because it's my birthday and all of that kind of stuff, part of me wants to spend the extra $25 and get the tomahawk. I don't know.
I mean, it's just a big ass bone, right? I think.
No, it is. That is not all it is. And we've got Rye Bread checking in. Did you hear about the restaurant in Austria that cooks one of their fish dishes with melted beeswax? I have not heard of that, but that sounds amazing.
Huh.
I like fish generally, and I like honey, which is beeswax in essence.
What kind of fish are they cooking though? That's the main thing.
Yeah, I have never heard of that.
That'd be the big question. What fish are they cooking it with? Because that would make a difference in my opinion.
That does sound delicious though. But yeah, I mean, part of me is like, okay, so with a bone-in tomahawk, you're talking about 32 ounces, which it could be more than that.
Yeah.
Versus a porterhouse at 20 ounces. So you're talking about 12 ounces of steak. And yes, part of that is the bone. So generally you're talking about 6 ounces or so is the bone.
Right. Okay.
So you're talking about maybe 6 more ounces of meat. Right. But with a tomahawk, and especially a premium cut tomahawk, usually what you're talking about there is your prime beef, your prime sirloin beef. A porterhouse, what most people don't know about a porterhouse is it's the T-bone and the fillet.
That's what a porterhouse is?
Yes. Usually with a porterhouse, you're getting the T-bone is one side of it, and the other side of it is the fillet. So I like it because they are distinctly different cuts of meat and a different experience. But a tomahawk,
Flavor profile wise, are they the same? Is it like the same like texture, or is it like
no, they're distinctly different.
oh okay, all right.
Yeah, it is as you know, you've had sirloin, you've had prime rib, you've had all the different kinds of meat. The tomahawk is distinctly different. It's a thicker cut, so it's going to be it's going to have that, what's the word I'm looking for, where it's a little bit more squishy. It's more in line with like the prime rib type meat, where your porterhouse it's big. It's you think about, you go to a restaurant, you have a T-bone,
Right,
right? You've got that T-bone.
right.
Now you think about, okay, you go to that same place, you get a T-bone over here, you get a filet mignon over here, put them together, because when you think about the T-bone, that's what's on. One side is this cut of meat, and one
Mm-hmm.
side is this cut of meat. So
All
it's
right,
yeah.
yeah. So I mean, I definitely am gonna have to try some of this stuff. I forgot what we had on here. Like, oh man. So let's see what we got. Uh, thick cut bacon. Oh, I always like bacon. Bacon's always good. You know what? I think what I'm gonna have to do on this, I'm gonna have to do on this cruise, I'm gonna have to bring some lactate with me. Is if y'all know, your boy's lactose intolerant, but I really want to try this lobster bisque. I mean, it's on there. Might as well have it, right? Lobster bisque, and then I think, yeah, I might throw down on this tomahawk, but we got a couple different sauces here. Um, but Tyrus, how do you eat your steaks?
It's amazing to me when you ask that question, because when I go back to like me and Tyrus, having known each other for almost, basically almost 20 years at this point. Um, when I first became friends with Tyrus, at Aloni, and then more specifically at Dave and Buster's, Tyrus was a vegetarian.
Oh, that's right. He was a vegetarian.
And for the longest time, I could not get the guy to eat meat, which was fine. I respected that he was. I thought it was silly, because he wasn't doing it for health reasons, or for he wasn't doing it for some kind of like magnanimous reason, like he was against animal cruelty or anything. He was just doing it. Like we have another friend who's a quasi vegetarian, Chris, right? And his logic was that he did not want to eat any kind of meat where he thought the animal would feel pain, or would acknowledge that they were feeling pain.
I'm
So
sorry, that's just silly to me, but okay.
so he based the kinds of meat he would eat on the hierarchy in the food chain, kind of
The
like he had
organic stuff, he would only like it had to be organic or something.
no. Like, okay, for the most part, he wouldn't eat any kind of meats, but he would eat like seafood, because he felt like there were a lot of the fish or shrimp or things of that nature that um, didn't have a high enough brain capacity or functionality to recognize and feel pain.
Okay.
And then eventually he just started eating meat again, kind of like terrorists. All of a sudden, he just started eating meat again.
Hey, so here's my question. Now, this is so I'm looking at the starters. I'm looking at the soups and salad. I'm looking at so what. So we can order any of this stuff, or is this just I forget how this
Okay,
all
so
works.
yes, so you're going to be able to, with the specialty restaurants, you can order a starter, a entree, a starter, a soup salad, an entree, and a dessert.
Okay, okay, that's all I really
So,
needed to
so
know.
for example, here, right? You for the starters, right? You've got a couple of options. You've got jumbo lump crab cake, which is an extra $5.
Bacon.
Thick cut bacon, which is amazing to me. So thick cut bacon is $16 more than the crab cake, but no additional charge.
Yeah.
Shrimp cocktail, black tiger shrimp trio, which that's going to be 3 pieces of tiger shrimp, and those are the huge ones.
Huge ones, yeah.
Remember what we had at Gallagher's?
Yeah.
Yeah, those were tiger shrimp, huge.
Okay.
Ahi tuna tartare or oysters Rockefeller. So to me,
how many oysters do you get with that? So there's like,
I would probably guess 3.
Yeah.
2 or 3.
Mm-hmm.
For me, this one's a pretty straight answer, and it's going to be the thick cut bacon.
Yeah. That's awesome.
It's cured, smoked, maple glazed with a sauteed baby spinach. Okay.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And then you've got your soups and salads. So this is lobster bisque, baked onion soup, iceberg wedge, Caesar, or beefsteak tomato.
Oh, it's just a big tomato. No, I was thinking like this. That's what I was just saying. Like, I want to get. I think I'm gonna have to grab my Lactaid and have some lobster bisque.
Yes, you are.
Yeah.
And then you get into, okay, now it's time for entrees, right? So you've got your featured selections, which are your veal, roasted prime rib, surf and turf, which is an additional $20, double cut lamb chops, or Berkshire pork chop. To me, you're going to a steakhouse.
No, I'm getting steak, bro.
Like, the only thing on this list that where it's like, okay, maybe is the surf and turf,
right?
The prime rib, maybe, right?
Right.
But that's where it's like, okay, let's the grilled classics, right?
Yeah.
So these are certified Angus beefs and premium cuts, right? So you've got your ribeye at 16 ounces, your petite filet mignon. That's a small one. That's 5 ounces. But it's going to be good.
Yeah.
You've got a regular filet mignon at 8 ounces. Then you've got what's interesting to me is that you can get either one of those. Those are both included, 5 ounce or 8 ounce.
Yeah.
Then you've got your porterhouse at 20 ounces, your New York strip at 12 ounces, your grass-fed New York strip at 12 ounces, and your bone-in tomahawk at 32 for an additional 25.
Yeah.
Then you're looking at, you've got some sauces you can choose from if you want to add those on.
I get on the side, if anything.
Béarnaise, green peppercorn chimichurri, port wine jus, house-made steak sauce, maitre d' butter, and a yuzu togarashi butter. To me, if I'm going to do any of it, it's going to be a maitre d' butter, because usually that's really good on a steak. Anything else?
If I was going to try it, I'd try it on the side for sure. Like, I'm not getting it on it for sure.
Well, and what's my philosophy on steak sauces or anything like that?
Oh, it shouldn't need a sauce at all.
Right. If you're getting a steak and it needs sauce, or you need it to have sauce, you don't know how to eat a steak right, or they don't know how to cook a steak right.
Like, the main thing is, I'm pretty sure, like, I'd want to try, maybe the maitre d' butter, and then maybe that other butter.
The yuzu togarashi?
Yeah, just to try it. I'd probably just like dip it and then be done. But
and I will tell you what I find interesting is that on some of the Norwegian cruise line ships that have the other steakhouses, not Cagney's, but the ones especially that cruise around places that aren't in the U.S., they actually will have Wagyu. True, appropriate, properly prepared Wagyu. So it's kind of disappointing they don't have that here. And then they have the sides. Now, what I don't know, and maybe Tyrus can answer this, when sides are at a cost, are you able to get sides without an additional cost if you're using a food credit? Yeah. I don't know.
What was that? What's that onion? What is that?
Oh, yeah, you can't see.
Onion rings. Never mind.
Onion rings, yeah.
Mac and cheese, bro. That's funny.
The Parmesan dusted truffle fries. That's the one that I'm like, what is going on?
Oh, that's my watch. My watch was going off. It's not on my wrist right now. It's to the side. And I was like, oh, my dad called, so I'll have to call him back.
Yeah. The Parmesan dusted truffle fries and the creamy cheese polenta. Those are the two that I'm like.
Can I tell you a story about polenta?
Please do.
So, a friend, Bora Celebi, he's a great guy. He went to Ohlone with us, and we were hanging out, and we were working on a project that was in San Jose. So he was like, "Yeah, come meet me at my work, and then we'll go from there over to the hotel where we were having this rehearsal." And I was like, "Yeah, cool." So I went. He was working at I can't remember the name of the restaurant. It's downtown San Jose, and he was like, "Yeah, just get whatever you want." Another guy that we went to school with was one of the chefs, was like the head chef at this place. So I think it's the Firehouse or something, downtown San Jose.
Mm-hmm. You're
And
talking about Matt as the chef?
yeah, and
Closer.
yeah. And so we went. So we were chilling, and I don't know why, but I never understood. Like, I kept looking at it, and I was like, polenta. Like, why? How did they even get that? I'm thinking placenta.
I'm sorry.
I was like,
I'm sorry. You thought it was like a human
I
placenta?
was like, how do you even get that? Like, that doesn't make any sense to. It just, because I had heard of it, but I had never heard of it, and so like when I looked at it just really quick, I did it. Not just things didn't click, and so like for the longest time, I thought it was placenta.
Okay, well, so just so the audience is aware, a placenta is what is also known as afterbirth, where polenta is typically a dish of boiled cornmeal.
Yeah, it's like almost like grits.
Yeah, it's kind of like grits or oat.
Yeah. It's like thin oatmeal,
cream of wheat.
cream of wheat. Yeah, like
But-
yeah,
But yeah, so a creamy, cheesy polenta.
yeah. So like,
Not to be confused with human afterbirth.
yeah, like for the, I don't know why, like just like I heard polenta and like my brain just changed letters. It was bad. It was bad. Oh man, that was just one of those. That's one of those.
There is no C anywhere in
I
there.
know, but I'm saying I understand that my mind literally saw it and turned the letters. I basically made it what my brain basically changed it for me.
So I'm guessing at no point in your life prior to that moment had you ever actually had any polenta.
No, I hadn't. But again, I hadn't really been to a place that had it, and so, but then like I had it there at the Firehouse #1, like Tyra says, and it's really good. It's really good. So we had some we got some free food because one, he worked there, and then we also knew the head chef, so it worked out. And so yeah, but no, if you guys are ever in San Jose area, head on down to Firehouse #1, check them out. It's good food, good atmosphere too.
Agreed, absolutely, and both of which talented actors as well.
Yeah, did some work with those guys. Amazing guys.
Yeah,
Bora is in the Olympia with a Vengeance as well. Indeed. He also did the short film for Black Tiger, which is a comic book franchise. It's a small comic book franchise that we did viewing for a Comic-Con, or not Comic-Con, but WonderCon many years ago. About 7 years ago now. I think it was 7-8 years ago now.
Yeah, you're old.
Yeah, I know. I'm old. But yeah, good times.
Indeed. So I'm about good. I've just about finished my second can of this rum Mai Tai, which I will to our audience, our viewing thousands, Cutwater Valley High Tiki Rum Mai Tai. It is
Trader Joe's.
Trader Joe's is where I found it. It was 4 cans for $11.99.
That's not bad.
Yeah, when you think about it, you go to a bar or anything like that, for a Mai Tai, you're generally going to be paying anywhere between $7 to $12.
Yeah, so you're basically getting your money. You're getting 4.
Yeah. So, and like I said, after one, I was already like, So
Yeah.
I'm 2 in now, and I'm like, I'm good.
My third 805 of the night. I had one when I got home from buying them, and I had 2 on the show. So
Yeah. So to for $6, because I had 2, right? So for
Mhm.
$6 to catch a nice buzz,
yeah,
no complaints from me. Hey, and another thing I'll call out from Trader Joe's that I picked up that is really good is the Pound Plus.
is that big ass candy bar that you had before?
No, this is even bigger.
Oh, that
So
was actually that one was from Whole Foods.
yes.
Yeah,
So Trader Joe's has their own chocolate, and it's called Pound Plus. It's it's a little over a pound of there's dark chocolate, milk chocolate, so on and so forth.
that peanut
So
butter involved.
I don't think so. I haven't seen that, but I
Mm.
always wanted to pick one up,
Mhm.
just because it's like this pound of chocolate, and I finally picked one up, and it's pretty good. It is almost as good as the Tony's, which is not a pound. It's I think it's 7 ounces.
Mm.
So for more than double for about the same price,
Yeah.
I don't.
Sorry, Tyrus had a question.
Did you all? Did you
Mm.
finish all your backup booze? So the only thing that I have left at this point is I have some more of the not Smirnoffs. What are they?
Oh, the what's that company?
The
I
red,
know
white, blue, and
I know what you're
orange.
talking about. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. The
um,
not what's that Seagram's.
yes, I have some more of those left. Not many. So I actually over the last couple of weeks I have wiped out my stash, if you will.
Where did you get those from? Sam's Club, the Seagram's ones, or are those
Yes,
Costco?
yeah, those were at Sam's Club.
I'm gonna have to start going to Sam's Club, bro.
Uh,
Costco's
I
irritating me.
Costco, at least up here. I obviously you and I are having very different experiences, which is surprising because I would think Vegas would be better than here.
Yeah, you would think, but I have no idea if it's because it's a new one or something. But like, I might have to just go in there and ask about like the beer selection or something. Like, bro, let's get some different stuff in here.
Here's
Might
a
have.
here's a question, and this is something we haven't actually talked about. You have now been living in Nevada for 5+ years,
Yeah,
just over 5 years.
yeah.
What do you? We're we're getting the bots, ladies and gentlemen. Got
Yay!
gotta love it. So I gotta ask, you've been in Nevada now for 5 years,
Mhm.
5+ years.
Right.
What do you think? You that's a big move. From San Francisco Bay Area, growing up your whole life,
Right.
aside from a very short stint on the East Coast,
Right.
because you were in Maryland for how long?
About
6 months.
a year. I mean, well, like 9 months. August to May.
I mean, some of that you came home for breaks and stuff, right?
Yeah. Well, I came home for like I was home for like a week, and then for like 3 weeks for Christmas. So
So
like
you're basically there for like 7 weeks, 7 months.
yeah, whatever.
So, and Tyrus rightfully calls out, at least it's not another porn bot.
Yeah.
So that's fair. So aside from your brief stint in Maryland, you primarily spent 35 years of your life in the San Francisco Bay Area,
Mhm.
in Newark predominantly.
Yeah, mostly, yeah.
What do you think? You've been here for 5+ years, and
Oh, I mean, like the fact that I actually can have a house here is something I never thought I would be able to do in the Bay Area. So that's one thing. Um, it's don't get me wrong, I miss it. I miss not all of it. Like I don't miss the traffic. That's for damn sure. But like some friends and stuff there, and my dad's still there. Um, but yeah, no, I mean, overall, I mean, I have no real complaints about Nevada. Nevada's been cool. I mean, the I do miss up there. Because that's where you guys are, and all the events that you guys have up there. And there's some things down here that are great too, but like it's there. It's totally night and day too. Like, yeah, the one thing I definitely don't have to deal with snow. That's nice. Um, but
But you do get the summer.
yeah, that's the downside.
So let me ask you this. I mean, you've been in your place for a little over a year now in Vegas,
mhm.
in your home that you own. Um, a year from now, you'll have been there, and you could technically sell without any tax penalties. Um, if you had the choice to continue to live in Vegas, go back to the Bay Area, or move back up here, let's say,
Mhm.
Northern Nevada, Reno area. Because the nice thing about your job is there is, I would assume, transferability,
Yeah.
you know, and your job is nationwide.
Mhm.
There are airports in every major metropolitan area, and even less metropolitan areas.
If to be now, here's the thing. To be honest with you, if I was going to move anywhere, probably, probably I would end up moving to like, um, I'd probably end up moving back east. If
Interesting.
just because, like, I have a lot of family. My mom's entire family is in the Baltimore, Maryland, like that area, Baltimore, Bowie, like area, like right outside DC, and then not too far from there, and then it'd be probably a lot cheaper for me to go from there to Tennessee, where there, New Orleans, stuff like that, to where like my dad's family is. So that's kind of that's if that was what if I was going to do anything like that, if like moving wise, I'd probably do that. But there is like I'm trying to get I do need to fill out I need to get that done. But there is like a team that goes and does like they travel to other airports to help out as needed. So I'm trying to get on that team so that I can do some of that stuff too. See some other parts of the country hopefully. And then like we have like our I guess you could say sister airports, Elko and RNL are like we do help at those. So yeah, I don't know. I don't really want to go to Elko, but I'd have zero problem going to have zero problem going to RNL.
I'm surprised because Elko, for those of you that don't know that aren't from Nevada, Elko is really it's quite frankly podunk. I was expecting
There's like literally like one maybe two flights. They don't work very long there. They
no,
literally
well, and that's where I was surprised because I thought they only had like a municipal airport, a really small one, because Salt Lake City, which is about 2 hours away, is a major one,
Mhm.
and so I
Yeah, I have
actually
no idea really. I just said like that's what they told us when we were going through training that we have Elko and we have Reno, so Reno Tahoe. So I was like, oh, I'd have zero problem going to help out at 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 RNO for sure. I'd have zero problem helping out there.
yeah.
Um, and because but yeah, no, that's yeah. So like I said, and actually it's crazy because that airport like unlike here, like our airport is pretty much open. Like not all the gates are open like all night. Like our D gate is open like all night. Our international terminal is pretty much open all night, but our the gates that I work at, the AB gates, they close. I think around like 10 or 11 or something like that, and then um the sea gates, which is like the Southwest flights, those close at like around 9. So
Well, and they probably have been busy the last couple days. So.
Well, actually, the funny part is that they actually weren't busy. It was crazy. That's what I thought too. I was like, oh my God, like that must be insane. No, the insanity was at the ticket counter. That's where all the insanity was. It wasn't upstairs. It was at the ticket counter.
It makes sense to me.
It does. So they had people come through, but not very. It wasn't like I was like, golly, like that's gonna be ridiculous. Like when I first got there the other day, it looked like the line was literally going from the ticket counter up the stairs or up the escalators and stuff, and was going into that area. But actually, it wasn't even a line. It was it wasn't going upstairs. It was the line at the ticket counter, and that was ridiculous. So yeah, Southwest definitely has a lot of explaining to do. Apparently there might be some investigation going on there
I certainly hope so.
with everything that was going on. Because yeah, a lot of it's kind of insane. Because I was talking to this is what I can tell you. I was talking to a flight attendant from Southwest, and she was telling me that and that was I saw her on Christmas Day. Yeah, it was Christmas Day. She was leaving out. She said that the day before she didn't actually go anywhere, but she had been I don't know what they transferred or something like that. Like 4 or 5 different times that day. So she was supposed to get onto their flights, but they ended up not happening. So honestly, I have zero clue on what's going on there. But like I
seems
said,
like they're in the same boat.
yeah, like literally that she was showing up to work. She was showing up to work and was just like, we'll see. I was like, where are you heading to? And she was like, I'm not even sure today. I was like, we'll see. We'll see. But I can guarantee you, it's like they were they were making sure that they had food to take care of themselves. That's for sure. To make sure if they got stuck anywhere, they were going to be good.
And I can tell you, as of right now, there are numerous flights being already canceled Southwest for tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm like I said, I don't get it. I mean, I could understand when the storms, because I know there's been the storms and everything going on, and I get that. I understand you can't fly you can't fly to those conditions, but to other places where there is no there's no weather going on right now, nothing crazy going on as far as that goes. There's no reason that you're canceling flights to California. There's no reason you're canceling flights to Oregon or Washington or pretty much anywhere like west, on the West Coast. I can understand, and then like the South, like the South, like Florida, Louisiana, Alabama, Georgia, like all those places, like like the weather isn't really, or as far as I know, the weather's not super crazy down there, so it shouldn't be an issue there. So I don't know.
Yeah, I just pulled up flights from Southwest inbound to RNO. So many canceled. Looks like the only ones not canceled inbound to RNO are coming out of Vegas.
Wow. And there's people literally like there's people that are I was talking to one lady yesterday, and she was saying that they are going into an airport that's about 4 hours away from their home, just so they can at least get back to Colorado. And she's like trying to basically get a rental car at that point. And she said that she was trying to get a rental car, and they were like, the rental car place was, she like made a reservation, and then they were like, oh, we don't have any more cars. I went to a couple different places, like, we don't have any more cars. So either that people are coming in and getting cars and then just taking them to wherever they need to go and dropping them off at a local spot. And then, but she almost was about to get a car from Vegas and drive it to Colorado with her daughter. And I was like, yikes. But the only reason she couldn't do that is because they're all front wheel drive and she wouldn't be able to get through. So like she's going to Colorado. She's getting into Colorado, Grand Junction, and that's about 4 hours from where she lives. That's what, so I was asking her, and she said that she might have to order a car service to get her home. So I was
Wow.
like, yikes. Yeah, no, it's crazy, man.
Well,
people
I
are
won't be
getting
ever. I won't be flying Southwest anytime soon.
right. A good thing. Hopefully that'll all be fixed up by April, because otherwise I'm definitely changing my flight.
Yeah, because as of right now, we're flying. So I know I'm flying Southwest home.
Yeah.
From the cruise.
Yeah, we were flying Southwest home from the cruise. I'm supposed to fly Southwest out there. So
Yeah.
hopefully
I'm flying Alaska from here to the cruise. I
Right.
may have to fix my flight in the next month or so if they don't get their act together.
All right. And that's the thing. It's kind of sucks because I'm part of their. I fly Southwest quite often. And I only had that issue one time.
I normally fly Southwest. Almost every flight I've ever done in my life, aside from to Disney World once and to the East Coast once, I've always flown Southwest.
Mhm.
But as Matt Murray checking in says, I'm losing my faith in Southwest.
Yeah. I mean, these people were so desperate they were flying Spirit.
I'm not that desperate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like they just asked them anything. They just wanted to get home at this point. Like, So yeah.
Well, do you have any last minute interesting things to share?
Nope.
Well, I know I certainly don't.
Yeah.
Well, then I think we call it good.
Wrap it up.
Well, for those of you that have been engaging, we appreciate you. For those of you that haven't engaged, engage next time. We're friends. We're friendly. We're here to have a good time. And I guess Tyrus wants to debate you again on something.
We'll talk.
Have to figure out a topic, I suppose.
Yeah.
Because you can debate anything, as you can choose any side of any conversation, and Tyrus will be happy to take the opposing just because
he's that guy.
Yeah, he's that guy. He's anti everything. So,
yeah.
All right. Well, I think it's time to shut it down, James.
Yes, sir. Shut it down.